Hey everyone, Mike here. Today we're going to talk about disasters in the fish room. So as you can see right here, this tank was absolutely beautiful, amazing corals, and just the overall tank was a beautiful 210 gallon tank, and all of a sudden the tank gave way and we had a catastrophe in the fish room. Now I'm going to show you today how I nearly avoided a catastrophe in my fish room, so let's get into the video.
Alright, so here I want to show you what I woke up to today. I went in feeding my fish like normal, but I noticed something a little off with my heater. So I will give you a close-up shot of this heater. And you can tell that there was water all up in this, and it really looks terrible. It's disintegrated. So I am very lucky that this heater did not pop in my tank, and I'm definitely going to change that right now with another heater that I have here. This is the AQUA heater, submersible heater I should say, from Cobalt Aquatics. I'm going to use this here as a replacement heater because, as you know, avoiding an aquarium disaster is definitely always on my mind as a fish keeper. That's one of the worst things you could possibly imagine happening in your fish room or in your house or wherever you keep your tanks. So one of the things that you could definitely do to help you avoid a problem like this would be to have a thermometer in your tank. It doesn't have to be a digital thermometer like this. A glass one will do, but definitely keep note of what your temperature is set to on your heater and what your actual tank temperature is doing. This can tell you a lot. For instance, if your temperature is overheating, then you would know. If your temperature is underheating, you would know. And this could definitely help you out in the long run, saving you a lot of money on a busted heater. Alright, so another tip I wanted to cover was making sure that you have a proper sized heater in your aquarium. Now, this here is it's a pretty big issue because if you have too small of a heater in your aquarium, it's going to run way too long and it's going to dramatically reduce the life of your heater. So very simply, usually on every package of heaters, including this one here, it will give you a size chart to what size of heater to put in your tank. You can go over too big, but if you want to go too small, you could definitely run into problems down the road that your heater might not last as long. And it's definitely not worth not spending the extra 10-20 bucks at the time for a bigger heater. Another cool thing that you could use is something that I don't currently have, but I definitely do want one, is a controller for my heater. Now, a controller basically allows you to plug your heater into a controller. The controller has a built-in thermal probe that goes into your tank, and this basically takes the control function out of your heater and puts it into an external unit, which controllers are usually a lot more accurate and a little bit more expensive, I should say, as well. So a lot of people, what they will do in rare cases is get a replacement heater online. Now, I picked up this heater here online for this video just because I wanted to show you that this here is a $5 heater. It's stainless steel. Why I ordered a stainless steel heater is because I thought for sure this heater was going to get destroyed before I got here and I'd have to wait a couple more weeks to make this video. So, I got a steel one. This heater will never go in a tank, but I definitely did want to point it out that these heaters are terribly made and you hear nothing but one-star reviews about them. And if you want to waste your money on this, this is $5 that you could have put onto a better replacement heater. So another type of heater here that I did want to go over is these hang-on back heaters. Now, I'm not a big fan of these hang-on back heaters because, first of all, if you drop it in the tank, you're going to turn into Pikachu in a hurry. So we don't want that to happen, and you definitely don't want to hurt your fish. But if you do use one of these heaters, one thing that I could suggest is get a suction cup, put the suction cup on it to make sure that it's going to stay there in your tank, and even if you do accidentally bump it, it's not going to fall in your tank. Now, another thing I do want to push here is the instructions of your heater. Now, I always mark my heaters with a piece of tape. This here is my heater. because when it comes time to do your water change, you need to unplug that heater a good 15 to 20 minutes in advance. It takes a long time for these heaters to cool down, and if you just start draining your tank water and you just unplug your heater, it's going to get really hot. And at the top of these heaters, there is a seal. It's a rubber seal, and if this rubber seal gets too hot and melts, you could have water going into your heater, and that could cause you a big problem right there. So definitely keep that in mind, that you do want to give these things time to cool off so you don't have a problem. And I guess another thing here that I should kind of touch on as well is a drip loop. You might not be aware of what a drip loop is, but I'm going to tell you here today. Now, I often have big fish that will splash and they'll come up and splash me when I'm trying to feed them or whatnot. And I've seen water flow down the cord of my heater and hit my drip loop a couple of times. Now, if I didn't have a drip loop where the water was coming down, the water can go right here, right into my outlet, and we could have a serious fire from that, or another disaster in your fish room, which is totally what we're trying to avoid with this video. So this here is a big one. Make sure you have a drip loop. Now these are a few of the tips here that I came up with. If you guys have any more tips on how to avoid a disaster in the fish room, please hit me up in the comments with them. I'd love to hit on this video at a later date and see if we can come up with some more good ideas that we can add for a future video. So thank you guys very much for watching. I do want to thank our friend who let us use those pictures, and you guys have yourself a great day.